What song is on your heart this week?
Well, I don't like hey, hey, living under your spotlight. Hey, hey,
That's a good
just
one.
because you think I might. Hey, hey,
Mhm. Mine's
finding
is,
somebody worthy.
I mean, I feel like that's a word, like, I don't like, it low key is very controlling, what she's describing, that behavior is not very healthy for a relationship.
Living under your spotlight.
That's a good one. Is that you? Is that you? I don't know all the words, but I remember I like that song. She'd usually be hooting and hollering, but
Well,
that's a good one.
she is good for a hoot and a holler
Mhm.
at the same damn time.
The song that's on my heart is that Tim's and Man, when it's like, "Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah, 5'9" brown eyes and in it. I
That's a
don't
bop.
know who the man is, but Tim's.
Thames is what I needed. I'm not what you need.
Yeah, she
It's a
got some
great song.
bops.
Thames is a really, really good artist. I'm glad that she is getting all of her things because she makes really good music.
She makes great music, and I really enjoy her face. I really just enjoy her essence, but her face is very, like, cat-like. It's very, like, feline coated. Like, her
Mm.
eyes, like, she has a kind of beauty that's very cat-like, which I enjoy.
I remember my first time even seeing what she looked like. I don't know what I was expecting her to look like when I first heard her voice,
Yeah,
but she's one of one.
she is,
Uno e uno.
just like you.
Period. It's like,
Did you see the video I sent you, of the people acting out different zodiac signs?
yeah, I did.
And the one for Scorpio was like,
Why do you immediately talk about the one for Scorpio?
"Because you're a Scorpio."
Why not talk about the one that they did about a Leo?
Because in the video, the Scorpio came first and then the Leo was after that
Scorpios
one.
always come first. That's a lesson for life.
Anyway, was that supposed to be Michael Jackson or Jennifer Hudson?
Whichever one, take
Can
it.
we go see that movie? That movie's about to come out, or maybe it came out already, but I wanna
What
see it.
movie?
The Michael Jackson movie with, his nephew.
Jafar? No, I'm just playing. I don't know. I don't.
That
I
is
don't know
his
what his name.
name.
Is
I
his
knew it
name?
was something it's yes, if it is Jafar.
It's giving Lion King.
No, it's giving Aladdin.
I mean Aladdin. That's what I meant.
It's giving Disney Plus.
It's giving. It's giving Disney Plus. It's giving
Mhm.
Fantasia.
Not Barino,
No, I ventured
the Mickey
into
Mouse
a.
one.
I ventured into a like a vintage store in Philly. I don't know what part of Philly it was. You're gonna have to tell me, but
You
it
know
was
I don't
on.
know. It was South
Did you
Street.
say South Street? Yeah. There's a
Mhm.
store on South Street that has a lot of, like, VHSs and, vinyls and movie posters, like old movie posters and stuff like that. I procured Ella Fitzgerald one, but I
Mhm.
saw so many throwback like VCR, like, movies, and I was immediately transported to my childhood. I was specifically looking for the Orange Rugrats movie VHS, if you know, you know, but they didn't have that.
Mhm.
But they had, like,
Did
Fantasia and, like, Chicken Run.
did they have, like, VHS players and, like, DVD players?
I think so, actually.
'Cause
They actually
you know I need me a DVD player.
they also had arcade games and stuff like that,
Hmm.
like Pac-Man and
We should go
Tetris.
back. Oh, well, I didn't go with you, but I wanna go.
I would not. I was they got chairs in there, so you can just sit down and look through all of the stuff. I would definitely go back and
Put it
go
on the
through
list.
literally go through each one. I'm sure there's some hidden gems in there somewhere, but you have to take the time to sit down and go through them all because they're
Mhm.
not in any kind of order. They're not
Really?
alphabetical. No, you just gotta look.
That would be a great intern job to organize them,
That would
but I
drive
that
me insane. I kinda like
it
stuff like that. I kinda like that it's random because it kinda
mhm.
forces you to go through and you don't know what you're gonna find. I think, like, if you go in there looking for the Temptations, you gonna go straight to the T's and you know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
it's something there's something to be said for just going through all of that stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
By the way, I highly doubt there's any Temptation stuff in there. I think I was lucky to even find the Ella Fitzgerald stuff. But,
And I'm so grateful because I love me some Ella. I think maybe I'll put her back here somewhere
mm.
on my gallery wall.
It was some good stuff in there. I shoulda took pictures of some of the other stuff that I found, but I wanted the other one to be a surprise, so I didn't tell you.
Huh.
But
I
it's not going
appreciate it.
nowhere, I don't think, so you can go back.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Shout out to that store, whatever that store is called,
Whatever that store's called. Shout out to y'all.
on South Street.
Mhm. Perhaps. Welcome
perhaps.
to the podcast, friends. Happy
What
transcript
what are
transcript
you doing?
transcript
What are you
Tuesday.
doing? What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Why what is that noise?
I didn't know that you could hear that. I didn't realize before you couldn't hear, and then I
Well,
plugged my microphone back in and now it's supersonic.
not all of the people in the world are like you. Some of our hearing is actually pretty good.
Oh,
Anyway, welcome one, welcome all to another amazing episode of the Unofficial Transcript, where I am your host, Aaliyah, aka Coach A, aka Big Scorp, aka the biggest, the largest.
I think this is the first time you said your actual government name on here.
For real?
What a yeah, what a milestone.
I'm Aaliyah. I'm going to VSU. Go Trojans.
Go Trojans. Exactly.
You ever seen those videos
Mm-mm.
where like the C's be like, "My name is Ashley, and I'm going to Mississippi State."
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I have seen those. I like when they say where they think they're gonna go and then where they end up going, because sometimes it'd be not the same school.
Baby, well, it depends on when. My senior year, it would have depended on when you recorded the first video.
Yeah,
Like, cause if you recorded that joint at the start of senior year and asked me where I thought I was going, it wouldn't have been VSU.
it wouldn't have been VSU. Well, I'm Darielle, aka Dr. D. That was Leo. If you're watching this video wise, that little thing in the back was Leo. Um, if you're just listening, then it never happened. Welcome. Welcome to the podcast, friends.
And for those who don't know, Dr. D is the best and baddest doctor this on this side of the Mississippi,
Precisely.
and above the Mason Dixon for her, I suppose.
Exactly. Because I don't need to go down there for too much longer.
Not too much.
Just not on, like, vacations, but, like, I don't think I could live below the Mason-Dixon ever.
Maryland has a very large, I think also the biggest, like, wealthy black population.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm 90% sure either Montgomery County, it might be Montgomery County, is the richest black county in the entire country.
So it would be Real Housewives of Potomac?
Yes, and anybody who's ever watched Real Housewives of Potomac can tell you that none of them shits was in the Potomac.
No?
Man, I seen them record an episode that was up here by Arundel Mills. That's very much Anne Arundel County. That ain't no damn. Anyway, that's just some Maryland lore. Yeah, I don't
Mm,
know. I didn't watch too
mhm.
much of that, to be TBH. But I
No, I
just so happened to
watched
see a clip, and in that clip, I was like, I know exactly where that is, and it's not Potomac.
I watched only Atlanta, and I stopped watching after Phaedra left, and I hear Phaedra's on some other show now, but, like, I stopped watching Real Housewives of Atlanta whenever Phaedra left because she was my favorite.
I think a lot of people are probably gonna start watching Real Housewives of Atlanta again. I don't
Mhm.
think you're the only one who stopped watching it, but I think Pinky Cole is joining Real Housewives of Atlanta.
A slutty vegan?
She's yeah.
Hmm, okay, Clark Atlanta alum.
Yeah,
Shout
I think
out.
people gonna tap in to watch her, at least.
Well, that's great.
What is the criteria for you to be on Real Housewives of anything?
I think you just gotta have some level of clout, some level of, because I don't think you necessarily have to be a wife. I think people start off, like, I think it started off as housewives, like, everyone was married or, like, divorced or, like, somewhere in that bubble, but I don't even think you need to be married anymore necessarily.
So how the hell is it gonna be how you gonna be a housewife in real if you ain't married?
I don't know. Is Pinky married?
Yeah, she married to the dude that got all them
Oh,
cheesesteak spots.
really? Oh,
I forget his name.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really
Some light
follow,
skinned
like,
man.
reality business these days. Like, I think I've hung up my reality TV watcher hat.
Yeah, you traded it in for fucking soap operas.
Yeah, I at least I
Shout
that's at
out
least
shout out to Beyond the Gates.
shout out to Beyond the Gates. I am a gatekeeper. I am in the gatekeeper Facebook groups. I'm in
Uh-oh.
all yeah, I need to know what's going on because I can't watch it every day. It comes on every single day. So sometimes I'll save a bunch, like I might save a week's worth and then watch it all Saturday morning for like 5 hours and just get my dose in. But no, it's a all black cast or primarily black cast set in Maryland, like DC
Mhm.
area. And it's like it's successful black people drama. At least it's basically Real Housewives, but like a much highly dramatized version, which is, I
And the
like my fake
matriarch
stuff to be fake.
ain't the matriarch the lady from Law& and Order, SVU, the
Anita.
medical
Mhm.
examiner?
I think her name's Tamara some Tooney in real life, but Anita is her character.
What was her
Um,
name in Law and Order? I can't remember.
medical examiner
That's what pissed
lady.
me off, I think. But anyway,
Go ahead. But no, that's a good show.
I need that. I need Beyond the Gates to be to us, to our generation, like As the World Turns and all the other
It's
ones
gonna
was.
be. It's
What was
gonna
the other
be.
one? Young and the Restless. I think one of the black ladies from Young and the Restless passed recently. I seen a headline about that. R.I.P. to her.
Mm,
But
mm.
but yeah, I want Beyond the Gates to be to us what that was to us. So like when our kids got to stay home, it's like, all right, you watching Beyond the
My
Gates
stories. Yep.
and well, it ain't. Well, I'm sure. Don't Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right still come on and everything like that.
Baby, you know I don't know.
You know, there's something. There's like a documentary or something. I think it's either an entire documentary about Price is Right or there's an episode about Price is Right. But either way,
Mm,
it goes into like Bob Barker, the old man who used to host it,
mhm.
and his racism-ish tendencies
Interesting.
and how they went about like choosing contestants and like all the back stuff, the backstory stuff about Price is Right. But
Yikes.
apparently there's proof how that Bob Barker treated the white contestants very differently than he treated the black contestants.
Oh, well,
And
that's
there had to
interesting.
be certain kinds of black contestants on the show.
Like what?
I have not seen the documentary yet. I've only seen
Mhm.
like clips of it like on TikTok and stuff. But allegedly they prioritized if they wanted to have a black contestant, it had to be like a fat black lady, like older black lady.
Why?
I don't
They
know.
want
Like I still I still have
a
to watch
mammy.
it. Huh?
A mammy
Yeah.
stereotype.
Mhm.
That's the kind of, like, domestic worker type of lady that they wanna see.
Yeah.
I
Imma watch it
mean,
though.
I would love to watch it. Speaking of documentaries,
Speaking
you
of
force me
documentaries,
you suggested that I watch a
I was
documentary.
already saying because forced is an insane word.
Force is crazy, I'm sorry, but you came across one.
I did come across? I did come across one.
Mhm,
There's a documentary by I think he's French director or journalist,
mhm.
Louis Theroux, and he created a documentary called Into the Manosphere, which she already shaking her head.
Because it's just go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, just the title in itself pissed me off because, like, why do I have to search that up on my computer? Why does that have to or my Netflix and mess up my algorithm? Because now it thinks I like men stuff.
What does
But
it?
just I don't know. But the title of it just immediately pissed me off. But go on.
Yes. So
Mm-mm.
essentially this guy, Louis Theroux, who I think is British, by the way. I think I said French. So essentially, Louis Theroux, he travels to Miami, New York, and Marbella, Spain, to meet a bunch of well-known TikTok creators, right? Influencers.
Mhm.
So he met with a person who goes by HS Tiki Taki, real name Harrison Sullivan, Sneeko, Myron Gaines, which is the guy from the Fresh and Fit podcast that has been canceled, I think, before.
Mhm.
A guy named Justin Waller, Ed Matthews, and I think that's it. So yeah, he goes to these places, he follows these people, and he documents the online subculture known as the Manosphere, a loose network of influencers, communities, and content creators who promote highly traditional or extremist views about masculinity, gender roles, and relationships. And so we watched all of it,
We did.
and we have thoughts.
Yeah.
We have thoughts. So I guess let me just ask you generally,
Yeah.
when you watched the documentary, what were your initial feelings, like your initial gut reactions as you were watching it?
Well, first I need to say, Graham, I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna cuss in this episode a lot. Maybe not a lot, but it pissed me off. So I have notes, hence the fiddling earlier. Like I took notes throughout our watch of it because you watched it and you rewatched it with me, and I just think it is insane, and I think it is a cult, and I think it is grift. I think they are grifters. Like those are my initial thoughts. I'm like, this is a cult, and this is like I don't know if these men truly believe in what they're saying so much as they are just profiting off of other men who think that that's a real way to live your life personally. I think like you said he went to Marbella or Marbella as he said. Tiki Taki man. He was probably the worst meathead of all of them.
Mhm.
Um where he like introduced the woman in the room as like She's gonna be cleaning up after us. She's gonna be, like, doing all the dishes," and she's like, "I'm a model."
I think he
Um,
literally like, called one of them a dishwasher. He's like, "This is the dishwasher."
and it was just a woman, like, yeah, like, I don't know. I think it was an interesting documentary probably to produce because I think all the men who were, like, subjects in the film were kinda skeptical of this guy's intentions with making the documentary in the first place. Like, they all were like, "Ooh, he might slam me," and it's like, "Well, duh."
Yeah.
So I think it takes a crazy amount of, like, hubris to even participate in something like that where you know, like, you could be potentially not slandered, but, like, portrayed in your true light, which is not good. So, very ridiculous. Very, very much shenanigans here.
Was there anything in the documentary that surprised you?
The only thing that one of so the guy, Tiki Taki, whatever, who very much gives biracial, like, he's definitely a white mom biracial.
Well, his mom was
Um,
in the documentary. His mom is white.
and she was white, yeah, so but he's definitely mixed, like, he's something else. But I think it's interesting that all his, like, macho stuff goes out the window when it comes to his mom.
His mom.
Like, there was a point where he was like, "Yeah, I think this I'm racist, I'm homophobic, I'm this, I'm that, but, like, my mom hates all of that, and if I would ever say something like that in front of her, she would slap me." And it's like, "So you respect only your mother? Like, you only respect that one woman?" I think there were certain instances where that part kinda exposed who they really are, like, it's some like, deep down, you respect women some
Yeah.
kinda way, or just the one woman. I think all of their relationships, because the guy from Fresh and Fit, he had a girlfriend who he basically treated like a maid, and he was like, "She's here to clean up after us. Like that's her only purpose." And we're in a one-sided, what is it? One-sided open
One-sided
relationship.
monogamy.
Once, please, the concept of one-sided monogamy, and then the same thing with the white guy, the other guy who had like
Yeah.
his not wife but his baby mom. And his kids like living this life and then he's able to do whatever he wants. So like the relationships that all three of the men had with either the mom or with the girlfriend, wife, whatever, was very interesting to me.
Mhm.
Very, very interesting to me. And I'm glad that the girlfriend ended up leaving. What's his name? Myron.
Myron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think so a reason why these people, these influencers are so popular is
Mhm.
because they have a bunch of little boys
Mhm.
and other I'm sure there's adults in there too, but a lot of their target audience, I feel, is, like a teenage kid, a teenage boy, and so there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of these kids watching them and trying to be them, wanting to be them. What do you think why do you think they're so attracted to this content, this lifestyle?
Well, because boys and men are, like, incompetent in life, like, in school, in life, I think they just tend to let me not say they're incompetent. Girls tend to perform boys academically for a
Mhm,
long time.
mhm.
Like, girls outperform them at school. Women, especially Black women, are earning degrees higher. Like, women are just ascending, and I think in a society that was meant to, center men and make it easier for men when they still aren't succeeding at a game that was set up for them, are they don't know how to really process that, I think. I don't think a lot of men have ever had to think about what that looks like to actually authentically be good at something and not just be pushed to the top just because by virtue of being a man or being white or being a white man. And because women now have rights, women now
Mhm.
have the ability to have their own credit, their own education, their own like women don't need men to survive in ways that they did just 20, 30 years ago. Men don't know how to process that because they've historically been able to just like subjugate women without much effort because there wasn't really much for women to do on their own. So women had no choice but to be subservient, was to be submissive or all those things in a relationship in the workplace because there was no way for them to progress. But now there's lots of pathways for women to make their own money and do their own thing, and be smart in their own right, and men aren't meeting them at that
Mhm.
standard. They are just like, "Well, what about me?" And so you get this mindset, this real red pill content, this like men need to be back on top, and it's like you can be on top by like actually being a competent individual and a competent professional, not by putting women down. But that's not the route that boys want to take. They want to take the easy route of I'm a man, so I'm just like, it's my natural right or my natural, like, I don't know, instinct to act this way when it's really not. Like women are the true leaders in society, I would say. I saw a video recently where somebody was saying men aren't really good leaders because where they thrive is like very individual like production of things like factories, working in factories, working in the army, like following orders. Men are good at following orders of other men, not of women, but men are good at following orders to produce one thing. Like they can do this thing over and over again. But women have to think long game. They have to be planners. They have to be like thinking of all of our resources and all of that. And those skills make women just better leaders a lot of times. And so I think these kind of men don't really they don't want to acknowledge that. They think that men are better leaders just by virtue of being men, which is just not the case. Because clearly they all following these three meatheads don't make like they're clearly all like you have the three meatheads at the top, or however many of these content creators, and then there's millions of boys who are like, I want to be just like him. And it's like you're submitting yourself to him. Like you don't understand that. You don't get that.
A little bit of idolatry.
A lot of it I wrote this is a cult. Like in my notes, I wrote I will show it to you. It's very blurry, but I don't. This is a cult. Where is it? This is a cult. That's what I wrote. It's so sloppy. Don't look at my handwriting. But it's a cult.
As you show the world, like
I just wanted to prove it. I wrote men don't have daddies. This is a cult. That's what I wrote. It is idolatry. It's like looking up to this one person and also the financial like pyramid scheme of it all.
yeah.
Like at least with Tiki Taki, I don't know about the other guys, but Tiki Taki has some kind of finance at trading
He has a
platform.
he has a Telegram group,
Yeah.
like a paid
That people
Telegram group.
pay that people pay
Mhm.
for to get tips. But what the guy said in the documentary, sorry, I don't remember these people's name, the filmmaker,
Louis Theroux.
Thoreau, like he said, like you have to pay to be a part of this group, and whatever you make, Tiki Taki takes a piece of what you make.
Right. No,
So whatever
I think he takes a percentage of what they deposit using
for
his
what?
code.
Like for what? So if I deposit $50 or something, he gets a piece of that,
Yeah, he gets a piece whether you win or lose.
which is crazy. Like that's the grift.
That's the grift.
That's a cult. That's a pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
So one of the things that really struck me when it was said in the documentary was, I forget which one of them, but I think it was a couple of them actually. But anyway, there was this statement made that men are born without value. And so,
Mhm.
as a man, your job is to create that value. Women, on the other hand, are born with value. They're born with
Mhm.
value in their beauty, and they're born, I guess, in value with that like femininity or whatever, right? They can just ask, like, charm a guy, ask him for whatever she wants, and she can get it because she's born with beautiful value.
That is such bullshit. Like, that is malarkey. To suggest that the success that women have is based on beauty alone, not intellect, not perseverance, not hard work, not dedication, just their beauty. Now, is pretty privilege a thing? Yes. Do some women benefit from being attractive, conventionally attractive, and men support them or people support them? Yes. But the idea that women's inherent value is just their beauty, I think is such a logical fallacy. And I wrote that down too. I said the idea that people should strive or that men should strive to be of value to other men.
Mm.
Like that's their competition or not their competition, but that's who they need to prove themselves to is other men. And it's like you don't realize like that's a little gay.
As I say, you kind of scaring the hoes, bro.
That's kind of like, and I mean, okay, just by who I am and who you are, I think our lifestyle is more on the margins in general. Like we are outside of the like typical, boy girl binary of like relationships. And like, so I think how we look at relationships and how we look at community is going to be different than straight people. However, to be a male centered man is crazy. And I think so many men are male centered men. Like we talked about this as male centered women. To be a male centered man is insane. Like if you only listen to men, if the only influences you have are men, the only opinions you value are men, that's crazy. You probably should reevaluate. I think there's a lot more merit or a lot more research behind believing women and centering the thoughts and opinions of women than men. And granted, like I think, or not politically, but like I definitely veer more on the misandry side than feminist. Like I'm a feminist or a womanist, but I tend more to distrust men inherently just because of stuff like this. So I'm not saying that I am completely right. I think I'm really far on the other end of the spectrum. But even if I wasn't, to only center the opinions of men is a choice. It is a wild choice to me.
So it's just a bunch of men who center men raising a bunch of little men who are going to also center men,
It's a choice. It is a pretty gay choice and a
and the
pretty stupid
women
choice.
and if the men center men, then where does that leave the women?
It begs the question, who gonna be the boys? Like, that's the question that we ask ourselves, like, who's gonna be the men? If all the men are trying to impress other men, if all the bad bitches are now men, like, they talk about the men in the club who are in the front, who are trying to be on stage, who are taking like, just they're centering themselves in a way, and granted, like, do your thing, slay. But it just begs the question, who's gonna be the men? Like, when we think of what men are good for in society, like protection, providing, all that stuff, when women can do that for themselves now. So because women can be of value in that way, men are just choosing to like close ranks in on themselves and do their own like little misogyny thing. And it just looks goofy to me. Like, it just looks silly. Like, maybe just try to be of value in some other way. Or crazy idea, maybe just build on to the stuff that the women are building. I think men just can't keep
But they're
up.
not gonna do
They
that though. They're not
no,
gonna do that.
it's emasculating, it's intimidating.
Mm,
It's a lot. Like, I think, like, I've gotten into arguments with people back when I used to argue with people on social media. Somebody posted a man posted something about building, like, women don't wanna build with men or something like that. Or don't want women don't wanna, like, financially contribute while a man is, like, building, something to that effect. And I'm like, "Well, that's her right." Like, every
yeah.
woman should have the right, especially at our age. I think I was maybe, like, 24, 25 at the time. And this man was a lot older. So I'm like, you in your 30s or maybe even 40s talking about building. Why are you not already built at 30, 35,
Hello.
40? And not to say that you have to be like a millionaire or billionaire, but you should have some sort of credential, some sort of like direction, some sort of network. Like, you to be just starting from scratch talking about, I need a woman that's gonna build with me, and you're 35. Why would a woman that's 35 want a man that's 35 that has nothing to show for the 35 years that they've lived?
I think that a lot of women by that point in their lives are willing to settle.
Yeah. Yeah, because the bar is really low.
I was like, 'cause the bar is low, and if it's like, "I'm 35, I still wanna have kids, blah, blah, blah," it's like, "Alright, well, you won't check all the boxes."
It's just I want more. I just want more for the girls. I want more for women. I want women to have compatible partners that they don't have to settle for, that they don't have to like raise up in a sense or feel like it's another child. Like, I think I'm
Mm,
tremendously privileged to be in relationship with a woman that kind of is a functioning adult. And I think a lot of women who are in relationships with men are not in relationships with other functioning adults. It feels like an obligation, a liability, another child, like someone that needs to be provided for, whether it's financial or just like just the idea of having a grown up in your house that cannot really lead a house, and but they want the respect of a leader. It's a cognitive dissonance of like, you're following these men, the tiki takis and the fresh and fit, and even like the Kevin Samuels and all those other kind of people for black people, because there was no like black man
yeah,
representation on that documentary. But even if you think of like Kevin Samuels, Burn in Hell, or somebody else like him, I was gonna say rest in peace, but he shouldn't. He doesn't deserve that. But like, you admire these men, you look up to these men, but you're just sitting at home watching them on YouTube,
yeah,
doing nothing. Talk about what time is dinner, when's dinner, I'm hungry. Doing nothing for the woman that's housing you,
yeah.
feeding you and your children, who's probably has your children and is going to work. And you watching Kevin Samuels like, yeah, that's so right. You should lose weight. And it's like, are you serious?
Do you think that these men, if that's what we wanna call them, do do you think that these men are kinda taking this stance as a response or, like, a reaction to them feeling like masculinity or being a man the definition of a man is under attack or being called into question?
Maybe, but yeah, I mean, sure. I think the definition of masculinity, I don't know if it's called into question. What's called into question is if men are masculine anymore. Because masculinity is a word that it is a static definition. We haven't, as a collective, decided to change the definition on Webster of what masculinity means.
Yeah,
Masculinity has a certain set of characteristics, and men are not embodying masculinity anymore. So now it's like an identity crisis on their end. It's like, no, masculinity has the bar has not changed. You are failing to meet that bar, and now you want to crash out. Because women, if you think about like what it means to be a provider, I'm not gonna say what it means to be masculine because that's its own definition, but what it means to be a provider, what it means to be a protector, what it means to be a leader, women are checking all those boxes for themselves. So if they don't need you to be that person, and the crazy thing is, it's not even that women don't need that. They want that. Women want to live a soft life. They want to be protected and provided for, but they've grown up for generations where men don't do that.
Mhm.
So what do women do, especially black women? What do black women do? We figure it out. We do it for ourselves. We're not gonna crash out and be mad. If you think about like misogyny, misogynoir, black women have nobody to kick. Black men have somebody to push down. They can push down white women. White women have somebody to push down. They can push down all the other women that's not white. White
Mhm.
men can kick everybody down the mountain. But black women don't have anybody to put that burden onto besides their
Mhm.
kids, which is, some do that, but like for the most part, black women aren't they don't have anybody to offset that burden to. And so they have to carry it. And so I don't know. I think it's that men just can't and then they push it off on the women. And then it's like, oh well, you don't need me or you're too masculine or you too this or that. And it's like, well, you can do it, but you're choosing not to. So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think the women that were portrayed in this documentary, so the wife of the what's his I think his name was Justin. I don't know, the
The
one
white from it,
yeah, the white
Louisiana.
guy from Louisiana.
Mhm.
Um, I think they showed his significant other, what I don't know, wife, girlfriend, whatever, baby mama, and
Yeah.
then Myron's girlfriend, we talked about that earlier. But a lot of these women kinda had the same thing in common where it's like they don't really care, allegedly.
Mhm.
They don't
Yeah.
really care that the relationship that they're in is only monogamous on one side. Like, as a woman, you're
Mhm.
expected to keep it right, keep it tight, and the man can do whatever he want.
Mhm.
So I think that there's also a lot of women who also subscribe
For sure.
to this thing, and that's kind of feeding because then the men can be like, "See, they get it. Like, why they can do it, why you can't do it? Like,
The thing
just
is,
get in line."
there's always gonna be male-centered women. There's not gonna be no shortage of pick-me women, and I think our generation is just now breaking out of that. I think 20 years ago, most women were pick-me women.
Yeah.
Even if they could provide, like, if you ever listen to Beyonce, Destiny's Child, and I love Beyonce down, but if you listen to their music from the '90s, if you listen to, like, Jill Scott, even now, but, like, if you listen to some of that early 2000s music, you really listen to the words, it's very much, "I'll do whatever you want. Pick me. I wanna be the version of me that you want.
Mhm.
Like, I'll do whatever. It is very much that. So there's always gonna be a population of women that are willing to subscribe to that. And I think my thing is just to have those women. Like there's also a group of women who are choosing to go their own path. So you can't be mad at women who are progressing, who are getting degrees, who are getting jobs, who are progressing in their career. That's a different type of woman. That's not the type of woman that you need. You need a type of woman that's gonna keep it right and tight and be subjected. But the thing is, that is such a short lifespan.
Mm.
There's that type of woman is only physically desirable to you for a certain period of time, and you're only desirable to them until they their frontal lobe develops and they decide to get on.
Right.
So you're just gonna cycle through this group of like young, hot bimbos, for lack of a better term, and they're gonna burn out real quick. That's
Yeah,
not sustainable. That's not sustainable.
and then you get another one.
And then you get another one, and that's fine.
It's
But
evergreen. It don't stop.
it's horrible because as the men get older, their desire for 20-year-olds doesn't change. Like, if you look at a chart, like, if you look at a chart as men grow up, like, get older, their desire is always gonna be that same age group, that same, like, standard of fitness and beauty and youth. Even if
I
I'm 50, I'm still gonna have the same attraction to the 20-year-old
Well,
girl.
I think that there's a like you said, a frontal lobe part about it too. Like,
Mm,
you can't say shit to the 35-year-old that you can say to the 25-year-old.
right, right.
So I think, they're more I don't wanna say impressionable, but maybe that is the right word. Like,
They are.
they can still kinda be molded at that age.
Yep,
But
and
by the time they're 35, they done already been through all of that. They'd already been through the struggle. They already met you, so they don't wanna meet you again. They left you already.
right, right, and you just start to develop your own standards, your own, like, "I'm not doing that."
Mm.
I think it is very interesting. Just like, this is a cult.
These men featured in these, documentaries, do
Mhm,
you think that they really genuinely feel this way? Or do you think that they are in some ways playing a role? Like, maybe they feel this way, but maybe it's not this extreme. But I think they get this extreme because
mhm.
it starts paying them.
Yeah. I 100% think that these men don't 100% feel the things that they're saying. I don't think they believe all the things that they're saying. Like, you can hear them contradict themselves in their talking. And even with what's his name, Tiki Taki, he can acknowledge that he feels this way, but his mom thinks it's wrong. But he respects his mom and he loves his mom and he listens to his mom. So, like, you realize that there's a disparity between the person that raised you, single mother, by the way, like raised you, and you hold her to this regard, but yet every other woman is just trash. Like, do you really think that? And then the other guys, I'm just like, the way he keep the white guy from Louisiana, how he keeps his wife, but really his baby mom, like how he keeps her out the picture, like she's not in the spotlight. He wants to protect her, protect his kids. So like to some extent, you have some like value
Yeah.
of your family. Like you don't want to put your kids out there. You don't want to put the mother of your kids out there necessarily. And so I think there's a recognition, like they can for sure be misogynist, they can for sure be assholes. However, I think much of it is for the performance, for the stream, for the chat or whatever. Like they're very much performing for the audience and doing what the audience wants to see. Like those like random pranks, like the catch a predator pranks and like or like situations, like
Yeah.
it is all for them to earn money. Like do they, like, exploit women? Yes, but I don't know if that's necessarily how they are off camera.
Yeah, I think in some ways, just like there are little boys looking up or young boys looking up to these men, there are also
Mhm,
young women, young girls looking up to the women that they're with. And as a woman, you're looking at it from a different perspective, right? You're kind of looking at the woman through all of this and saying, "Well, she's living this lavish lifestyle. Like I want that
mhm,
lavish lifestyle." So if all I got to do is deal with him who already operates at this low ass frequency, like that's light work, but this lifestyle is really what I'm after. So I think a lot of times women are also chasing a check too, just with the man by proxy.
different women. Mhm.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it very much reminds me of, like, a pimp and a pimp and a hoe dynamic,
Oh,
because
that's
what's his
oh, yeah.
name? Tiki Taki, I wrote down that he has a company that manages OnlyFans girls, or he bought a company, so he doesn't believe in sex work, or he doesn't believe in doing OnlyFans, he thinks that that's disgusting and gross.
Yeah.
However, he directly benefits from sex work via OnlyFans, or girls, like women who perform on OnlyFans or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. It is do sex workers who have pimps make a profit? I guess so, like sometimes. But ultimately, like you're giving a lot of that power to the
Yeah.
man. And it's like, sex work is a respected field, respected industry in this home, in this house.
Mhm.
However, when you have a man involved, all he's doing is exploiting you, not protecting you, not like doing any of those other things. It's kind of like, do you really need him? Like, you could make money on OnlyFans by yourself. You can make money being an Instagram model. Like, why do you need him? Why do you need to be associated with this person? Is the question that I would push back to those young women who look up to the women that are associated with these
Yeah.
asshole men. Yeah. This is a topic this is a topic that like has burned me up like my whole life. Like
Mhm.
I've always been super feminist. I've always been super like, why are women treated this way? Why are women talked about this way? And so this is the most I've ever engaged with this kind of content, I guess. Like for however long the documentary was, I'm
The
like,
red pill type of content?
this is the longest I've had to engage with it in a while.
Mm.
So yeah, I still feel very like angry and upset that like these people exist, but more so that that they have such a hold on people, especially like young black kids, but just kids in general. Like you're churning out a generation of idiots.
Yeah, you know, there's another kinda lens I was looking at this through too, which is some of them, at least one of them in the documentary, was really big into his faith, and I think that they use
Mhm.
that also as an avenue to pull people in to say, like, "Look, I'm a man, like, this is godly. What I'm doing is godly. I'm a man of God. Like, this can't be wrong." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, you attach all of that to the lifestyle that they live in, you're
But
gonna
it's
be
like
like,
that's
"Well."
what you have to think critically, because religion has been a tool to oppress people for a very long time. Like
Mhm.
maybe not the religion that the person was in this film. Like I don't think it was that same religion. But like religion is a tool, and it's a powerful tool to get people to do what you want, to get people to do what you think. Because like when it comes to this whole thing, like influencers and even like religious leaders, you are basically outsourcing your critical thinking. Like you're asking other people to think for you, or you're letting people think and then you're saying, yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. But most times it's, I this person that I admire said this, so I agree, whether it's a preacher or
Mhm.
a another type of religious leader, or even these guys in the manosphere. It's like I respect this person, so I believe that what they say is the truth. And I think it's using that as a mechanism to like legitimize some bullshit takes that are not even rooted in anything. I wrote down they make blanket statements about what is or isn't true. Like a lot of them talk in what I call fortune cookie talk. Like, they just say these random quotes like,
Yeah.
"He who is this," and it's like, why are you talking you're reading it's like you're reading from a script. It has nothing to do with, like your answer to a question is
Mm.
something that you could've pulled out a fortune cookie. It's like a Magic 8 Ball type answer, and it's like, they take those little sound bites as facts, as actual fact that can govern their life, and that is terrifying.
It's just ironic to me, like, the sheer irony of their whole business model kinda depends on they preach all of this self-sufficiency, right? They preach like, "Oh, you gotta be a hustler, you gotta be a baller, blah, blah, blah," but their
Mhm.
entire business, what funds them is preying on people who are also chasing that. Does that make
Yep,
sense? You got a bunch of broken people, a bunch
yep.
of broke people.
Yeah, who don't believe in mental health. Like, one of them was like, "Oh, yeah, I don't believe in depression. Even though I went
Yeah.
through all this trauma, I don't believe in depression, that's not real, because so and so said it's not real."
I don't think I don't think any this red pill content is going anywhere. I definitely think it's gonna get worse, for sure. I think it's for sure
Yeah.
gonna get worse, especially right now with the people in charge being who they are,
Mhm.
the the president and, all of these people, right? I think it's gonna do nothing but get worse.
Yep. You just gotta stay vigilant. And I think, like, the key is teaching boys especially human decency. Like, it really is human decency. I think anybody with a shred of critical thought and just, like, humanity would look at this content and be like, "This is disgusting." But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who look at this and can get convinced that this is the right way to live your life because no one's taught them about considering other people. Like, we live, I think, in such a individualistic society where it's like, all I care about is me and my family and my money and my this and my that, and we don't consider the perspectives of other people who don't share the same
Right.
life or identity as you. And I think as girls, as women, I think we're more so conditioned than boys are to be empathetic to other people's like situations. Like we have to be more emotionally intelligent because our safety depends on it sometimes. Like
Yeah.
being nice and reading people's moods and like all that stuff can be life or death sometimes
Yeah.
for a girl or a woman. So I think just we are more conditioned to to think about other people, put ourselves in other people's shoes, where boys don't really have to think about themselves. They don't have to think about their emotions. They don't have to think about other people's emotions. They just go, 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 crash, crash, burn, smash, drive. Like they just it's all about action and what they want. It's
Yeah.
not about other people. And so they're the perfect prey, the perfect victims for this type of content because they
Mhm.
already think about themselves. So this is something that is telling them, yes, the instinct that tells you to only think about yourself is correct. The instinct
Yeah.
that tells you like that you're better and girls are dumb and only used for A, B, and C is correct. You are
Yeah.
better, you are smarter, you are all these things. And you know, that probably feels good to a boy who's in the low group and all the girls is in the high group and reading.
Yeah.
You know, like
Do
that
you
might
think
feel validating.
that there's a demographic of women who
Mhm.
would be considered the direct opposite of the men that embody the manosphere?
I mean, there's, like, the femininity coaches, but then they're not, like I don't think they're the direct opposite. I think they might fall in line more with those guys. I think of, like, the Shira Sevens, like the Sprinkle Sprinkles, the
Mm.
women who know that system, who know that red pill
Mhm.
content and lean into it for their own gain. Those people who have pretty privilege or who have the, like, ability to float in and out of that world, but are using it for their own security and gain
Yeah.
and not becoming victims to it. Because at the end of the day, in some places, you can't really escape that mindset. Like, you
Yeah.
talk about the culture that we're raised in or the city or town that we're raised in, you kind of become entrenched in that
Mhm.
system. And if you unless you want to move across the planet or across the country or, completely isolate everyone, sometimes you kind of have to play the game where you are in that society. And so I think like a Shira Seven, I don't know who else makes that kind of content, but I follow Shira Seven who tells women how to play into that. Like, yeah, oh, I'm a
Yeah.
damsel in distress. I'm just so mindless and so thoughtless. I forgot to go grocery shopping. Can I please
Right.
have some money to go grocery shopping, and when I get that money, will I pocket most of it? Yes. And then it's, "Oh, no, I'm just so dumb and stupid, and, like, I wish that I just need a leader to just do it for me, take me," like, stuff like that
Yeah,
to play into that ego mania that men sometimes have, especially men who make money. Because she don't the thing about Shira 7 is, like, she's not telling you to go for a bum.
right.
She's telling you to go for the man who the bums look up to. So, there's no I don't know if there's an influencer telling women to go for the bums that follow the tiki-taki. She's telling you how to get the tiki-taki.
Yeah.
So and I don't know if anybody would tell somebody to go pursue a follower of a tiki-taki, because why would you do that? He giving all his money to him, to the pyramid scheme.
We need, like, pink pill content.
Pink pill, ooh, I mean, maybe trademark that.
Pink pill content.
Pink pill content, I think yeah, I don't know what pink pill content would entail. I think if you ask me, it would be, like, empowering women to do the opposite of what these red pill men want you to do.
Mhm.
Because women like, the thing is, women are already doing these things, but I think it could be so easy to fall into, like, "Well, if I want a man, I need to dumb myself down, or I need to lower my standards." I think
Yeah.
pink pill content will be telling you not to. It'll be telling you to raise those standards up, and now the dating pool is very slim up there.
Mhm.
I would imagine, like, that's where it gets kinda tricky, and that's where black women especially date out their race, or, like, do other things, and we talked about maybe they try being a little gay sometimes because the men ain't doing what they need to do. But at the end of the day, I don't think that women should lower their standards. So, to me
I think that another element of the pink pill content will probably be, like, in the red pill content, women are expected to be monogamous while
mhm,
the men are not. So maybe the pink
mhm.
pill content would also have, like, yeah, to him, it's one-sided monogamy, but I got my little boyfriend on the side too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm, mm.
I
So
got
you
my
want
side
brother
piece too.
husbands, not sister wives, but brother husbands.
Correct,
Mm.
correct.
That sounds like such a chore, and that sounds so unpleasant.
I agree.
Of ha
That sounds
of
like too much
having to
work.
deal with having to deal with multiple men sounds, like, so annoying, but I think I'm so far in, like, the woman-centered, I think, in my mind and in my, like, politics and in my, like, intellectualism, like, I don't really see men in that way, so I don't know, a lot of this is a little foreign, but I just want better. Like, ultimately, I just want better. I want better for the women around me that might feel like they have to settle or be a sister wife or be in a one-sided monogamous relationship. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
You can women are able to, like, provide for themselves, do for themselves, and so really what you need at the bare minimum is a man that's gonna make you feel good, that's gonna be nice to you. Like, at the bare
Mhm.
minimum, you gotta be nice.
Right.
Like, you can't be broke and mean. Like, you can't be a dependent and mean to me. Are you kidding me? And I think that's what most men are. Those red pill men are bums and they're mean. So why would women deal with that when they don't have to? Because
Right.
they're lonely, I guess, like, because they're lonely. But it's like the bar is just so low. The bar is just so low. And I
The
just
bar
urge women to raise it.
the bar is for sure in hell.
Like, the bar is in hell, and apparently hell has a basement because there's men even lower than that.
Mm.
'Cause what? Like, to me, I don't know. It's easy for me to say. It's very easy for me to say because that's not the life that I live, I guess. But I just don't understand in 2026. Like, I could understand in 1976 or 1986
Can you
when you
imagine?
couldn't you needed a man's permission to get a credit card back then. So, like, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I get it. I did not go through life in that time, but I realize how limiting it could be to have to literally need a man to do stuff, to move around, to get a car, to get a house. Like, you needed a man to co-sign, whether it was your dad or a husband or somebody. Like, even to get birth control or an abortion, you had to get, like, or a tube tie, you had to get a man's permission, which is crazy
Mhm.
to even think that you had to get a man's permission for you to do something inside your own body. So I get, like, we are so brainwashed, or we are so, like, cooked as a society when it comes to women's liberation.
Yeah.
Um, it's very counterintuitive to feel as a woman you should be a leader and a provider and all that stuff, even though we've been doing it for since the beginning of time.
See, but now we're getting to a point where back then, like you said, women had to ask for permission. Like, you had to ask for permission to get your tubes tied or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Now we got men in charge. They not even saying, "Come ask me for permission" no more. They straight up telling you, "You can't do it."
You can't.
You make an abortion they made abortion literally illegal.
Yep. Like, you could actually go to jail. Like, more women have gone to jail for getting abortions than people that were on the Epstein files. 0 people
Hello.
have been arrested after the Epstein files came out, but hundreds of women have been arrested for trying to seek health care. We're
America.
cooked. Like, we are cooked as a society, which is why, like, I had a professor tell me one time, this was like a leadership class or a school leadership class, but he said basically like, if I had it my way, I would take all the money. This sounds bad, but he said I would take all the money out of every other like middle schools, elementary schools, high schools. I would take all the budget that I can, scrape all the extra money from all of those levels and put it all into kindergarten. If I could take all the extra money and put it in the kindergarten and make the most bestest kindergarten ever, then 10 years from now, it doesn't even matter. Like, because the kids have such a good foundation
Mhm.
academically, because we put so much into their very first few years of education. By the time they get to 12th grade, they're going to be productive. They're going to be good because they've had that foundation, as opposed to having a little bit of energy in kindergarten, a little bit of money in first grade, all the way up. Put all the money in kindergarten, so that way you don't have to worry about it when they get to 12th grade because they have a good foundation. So I
Right.
think when it comes to this red pill content, people who are grown, like, sure, if you change your ways, great. If you realize you have an epiphany that this is a crazy way to live, then great. But the little kids, like the 7, 8, 9 year olds that are like maybe casually getting a video on TikTok or casually getting a video on YouTube Shorts or whatever, by the time that 8 or 9 year old is a grown up, he's been indoctrinated so bad,
Mhm.
then it's like it's kind of going to be hard to switch that off.
Right.
But you
Right.
have to, like, as parents, as people who are responsible for children now, you got to keep that in check in your
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
to make sure that that's not what they're consuming, number 1, 'cause that stuff is an endless scroll. So, how do you monitor that what those kids get, but you should be monitoring it?
For sure. I would agree that there's definitely a window around that kindergarten age where, like, it's like it's such a critical window.
Mhm.
What you teach them in that little bit of window.
Make or break
Mm,
sometimes.
yeah, make or break. So, I mean, shit. What is my I'm down with that, shoot. Put all the money in the kindergarten.
Yeah.
That way, by
Like,
the time they
it's
get
a
to 3rd grade, when they start using them kids' test scores to figure out how many prisons they gonna build,
right.
they be
Right.
alright.
They'll be fine because you already planted the seed. Like, trying to get a 5th grader to like math is way different than trying to get a 5-year-old to like math. And when you
Correct.
5, you're open to everything.
Mhm.
You aren't checked out academically. You still care about what you're doing every day. The same way with these kids, like, you can influence them in so many directions.
Mhm.
But if you let them just scroll on Instagram or TikTok or whatever for hours a day, you're gonna crank out a
Yeah.
little incel by the time he by the time he 18, he gonna be a he-man woman hater.
Yeah, put a basketball in their hand.
Something. A book, a basketball, candle, a sword, something.
Whoa, sword, whoa.
Like fencing?
N
Alright.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
And this is how I know that Leo speaks English, because he really comes in on the right time.
You
Like,
like, niggas don't fence? What is you talking about?
mind you, he's like, listen,
Exactly, that's how you know. It's a black
crazy.
dog. He know. The
Anyway,
hell is you talking about?
what's he gonna do? Braid your scalp? Literally. What's he gonna do?
Mm,
Put something in their hands that would not make them become a little incel by the time they're in 6th, 7th grade, being a creep or assaulting somebody in their class.
yeah, and that's the thing, especially from being on social media a whole lot more now since we have the podcast. The amount of young kids who are on these apps and are consuming the same content. So the same content that a 15 or 14-year-old might scroll across is the same content that 6 or 7-year-old might scroll across. The
Right?
difference, I feel like the 6 and 7-year-old can grow up to do a whole hell of a lot more damage because they starting early.
They started early. There's no kids section of the internet.
Period.
There's no kids TikTok, there's no kids Instagram.
Yeah, they
There's a
gonna
kids
find it.
YouTube, but it's bad stuff on kids YouTube as well.
But
Like,
even
it's
even if
crazy
it
stuff on
is,
kids.
even if it is a kid's version, they gonna find a way to get to the version they're not supposed to be on. Like, it just is what it
Right.
is. It
Right.
is what it is.
And I think a part of it is, like, we talk about this in maybe another episode about the third spaces thing, but the TV and movies and stuff, there's not a market anymore for that, like, middle school media. Like, what are the movies? What are the TV shows? What is the channel that a 6th grader can go to? And all the shows are, like, relevant to them. It's
Yeah.
not. It's Cocomelon to baddies.
I was just watching a TikTok video about Zoe one-on-one the other day. I was like, "Oh, we damn sure." That show
And that
did
was a show
exist.
because the kids in the show was the same age as us. So
Right.
it was relatable. There is no show to my knowledge, there's not a lot of shows out there that have the same demographics. It's either baby kid shows or I don't know, 13 Reasons Why.
But, another thing is a lot of companies and stuff they don't pump a lot of money into TV anymore because
Yeah,
that long form content is not what kids is specifically are looking for. And
crazy.
where is the short term content? On their phone. So a lot of them have switched into pumping millions of dollars into this short form content.
Crazy. We're gonna have short form brains and short form jobs and short form relationships. Everything can't be short form.
Mm.
We're gonna have short form minds. Not me. Y'all stay safe.
Not I, not I.
Everything I watch on YouTube is 45 minutes plus. But it's like that stamina.
Yeah,
Like this is a different conversation, but like I think the intellectual stamina is what we're extinguishing that. Like we're exterminating that in
yeah.
people by feeding into the everybody wants short form content. Like I was in a meeting and somebody was not selling something but explaining their content as snackable workshops, snackable lesson plans. And I'm like, what happened to
Bite size.
what happened to, like, a Boston Market type of thing? Like, why what happened to, like, a protein and a starch and a green vegetable? Why we
Right.
can't have that? Why do we have to have a Pop-Tart as a workshop? Why can't we have the full thing? Why can't kids like, are we saying that they're not capable of it? They're not capable of thinking for 45 minutes, they can only think in 5 minutes burst at a time before they get burnt out?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think, like, that is what's so frustrating to me as an educator. Is like we are as an industry catering to that as opposed to having them meet us where we want them to meet us. We're going down. Same way women are instead of having men meet us at the standard, we are dumbing ourselves down to allow men to be comfortable in their mediocrity. The same we're allowing kids to be comfortable in mediocrity. Because what do you mean
you know
short form?
as a teacher, I'm asking you this question, and maybe you know the
Yeah.
answer. Hopefully, you know the answer. But I noticed that. So when I was in high school, we
Mhm,
had 4 periods a day,
mm,
and I think years after I graduated high school, they switched to like 6 periods or something like that. Like it was shorter periods, but a lot more of them in the day.
mhm.
Who said that that change needed to be made, right? And I wonder if this kind of research about how kids' brains are their attention
Yeah,
spans are smaller, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, now we
yeah,
can't have the class that's an hour and a half. We have to shorten it to 50 minutes because
yeah.
that's
Because they
only
can't focus.
yeah, you only gonna have them for 50 minutes. And that's
Yeah.
pushing it.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I think it definitely is a deliberate decision based on how kids perform, and probably data. I'm sure there
Yeah,
was a lot of data that went into that. Well, kids check out at this time or, like, they always are good in their first period, but they suck in their second period, like,
yeah,
whatever it is. It probably is, like, performance data tied to it, but I think even that is not as bad. Do anybody even as an adult, do I wanna sit in a meeting for an hour and a half? No. Like, nobody wants to sit in one room for an hour and a half. I think that's different than saying, "Alright, instead of your 50-minute class or in your 50-minute class, 10 minutes of it is gonna be a game, and then 10 minutes of it is gonna be another game, and then you're gonna watch a YouTube video, and then you're gonna get on your Chromebooks." Like, it's that, like, how you fill that space. Like, I even think 50 minutes is fine. That's a normal amount of time to sit for one thing. But the way the content is going is like, trying to be super easy peasy. And like, all right,
yeah.
stand up, sit down. Like it's definitely a balance that
How is that
we're
gonna
we're going the
translate
wrong way.
when those kids grow up? How does that translate to the workplace?
It's gonna be really complicated, especially as boomers are not freaking get they don't wanna retire. They're like I feel like boomers are going to be in the workforce until they're skeletons. Like, until you have to physically peel them out of their cubicles, boomers aren't going nowhere, like, they just aren't. They're not retiring, and so, when you have so many generations in a workforce and boomers, because they've worked for so long, they're more likely to be leaders in the organization, more statistically, like, I would hope that after 50 years in the workforce, you was the CEO.
Right.
So you have that juxtaposition of the leadership having this idea of what the workplace should look like and has looked like, and then you have the entry level people who are like, this is just archaic and this and then like we should be remote and then like I think there's gonna be a lot of conflict, but ultimately you just gonna have to wait for the boomers to like get out. I think Gen X is even Gen X is still kind of like rigid in their belief system, I would
For
say,
sure.
around that what the workplace looks like, what's a good job, what's like a good amount of time to spend at a job, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think it's going to be a lot of conflicts, honestly, because you have these young people fresh out of college, COVID graduates, by the way, COVID college students, by the way, who had the easiest time. I'm not going to say easiest because that's crazy, but academically, probably one of the easier times to be in college because you're not in person. You could do it
Yep.
from home. You could kind of phone it in. You got AI. Like you have so many things at your disposal that other generations didn't have. When our papers was due at 11:59, we was typing up until 11:58. You could go if your paper's due at 11:59, you could ask chat and have something to turn in. It might be bad, but you have something to at least turn it.
Right.
So I think in the workforce, we're going to see a lot of conflicts around. A lot of Gen Z is getting fired, even like right now. Like they're getting fired for not being able to take initiative, not thinking critically, waiting for somebody to prompt them for every single thing. They could just sit there at their desk for 45 minutes until somebody tells them what to do,
I
as opposed
noticed
to
that.
saying, instead of saying, oh, our team is working on this. Let me see if I can help. Let me ask somebody if I can help. Or if you say, hey, Johnny, can you do this? Or can you email this person for this? And the person don't email you back. So you sit for a week. And then when I say, hey, did you follow up? Or did you get that email? It's like, oh, they never responded. Period. Full stop. And it's like, so did you reach out? Did you
Right.
call? Did you like send a carrier picture? Like, did you do anything to
Man,
try to get them? So it's that's so frustrating in the workforce
for
of like,
sure.
it's like, oh, nobody told me to do this. Nobody told me to say this, so I didn't say it. But you know it needed to be said. But nobody told you to say it, so you didn't say it.
As a people manager of engineers, this it's like preaching to the choir, what we talking about.
Yeah.
And then you gotta deal with the fact that on top of that, they already a little bit awkward. Like a lot of engineers, a lot of people who are in the STEM fields, some of them
Hmm.
tend to be a little awkward. So it's like they are awkward already. Then you throw this on top of it. Then I can't even communicate with you.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, my mental health. Oh, I need my mental health. I need a mental health day. I'm burnt out. Like, I don't know. I think I sit right in the middle. Do some things need to change? Yes. But ultimately, do your work. Like nobody's here because they want to be here. We're all selling our labor for money. We're all selling our time for money.
Mhm.
I give my job this, they give me money. And so it doesn't always have to be something that you want to do or something that you're like super enthused about. It's a job. That's why it's called a job and not a fun vacation where you could do whatever you want. Like you have to realize that. And I don't know. I think people are just more Gen Z is more like, oh no, I have to come into the office. And it's like, yeah, we have an office. Sometimes we have to go there. Like, oh man, on a Friday? Yes, you have to work sometimes on Fridays. What are we talking about? The one Friday,
One
one
Friday.
Thursday. It's like, oh man, it's sick, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to
Right.
tell you. You're selling me your time. You're selling it, not me, but you're selling somebody your time.
Yeah.
And a part of that time, you have to show up physically in person.
Why is that so hard? Because they're very
Yeah.
antisocial. They're antisocial and socially awkward.
Very. But that's not I mean, we don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Like we don't know what the future of the workforce is, but I will say human intelligence is important. Even in the age of artificial intelligence, human intelligence is still important.
And it will be undefeated. I don't care what you
Right.
say.
If all your intelligence is artificial, I'm sad. I'm scared for you. I think I'm very as a person who's gone through 12 years of schooling, plus a bachelor's, plus a master's, plus a doctorate before AI, before I knew about a chat GPT.
Right.
GPT. Like, I feel so lucky that I could think for myself because I think some people are just dependent on it right
They
now.
depending on that. They paying that $20 subscription fee every month and living off
Nah,
of it,
I could
operating
never.
off of it.
I could never. Like, is AI bad? AI is bad. Like, it's bad for the planet. But I don't know if that means single people who just use it in their own on their own devices. I don't think that's what's draining the world. I think it's those big companies. But still,
For
is
sure.
AI fun to play around with? Do I want to see myself as a teddy bear? Sure, but like I'm not using that to use my to
What kind
to
of
to email.
furry shit you do on?
I'm just saying, like did I make myself a teddy bear? No, no, I didn't. Not
Okay.
yet.
Chad, what
Do
would
I
I
want?
look like as Winnie the Pooh?
What would I look like if I was like Harriet Tubman's sister? That's what I would ask. Like, what would I look like
Nah,
in the
Chad
in the
gonna pull
18?
up something crazy, you put that in. Chad
Make me as a Disney princess. Do you know? That's the kind of stuff I'd be using chat for, which is not still not good, but like, okay. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Using your brain cells for different things.
I'm not gonna talk about what you Google search before this.
No, we're not gonna talk about what I Google search for this.
Please.
Ooh, it wasn't before this. I think that was yesterday, but anyway.
But for you to be Googling that in 2026.
Yeah, I looked at my Google. I don't even remember what we was looking at, but we was on the phone. I was trying to Google something. And I put on my Google, and the last searched Google term was "How do bears hibernate?" And I
Mm,
swear I don't remember typing that, but whatever. I guess I wanted to know how bears
vital
hibernate.
information. Vital information.
You
Well,
never know. I didn't get zoo books as a kid. I'm so sorry.
I did. I love a zoo book. I've been a reader since birth. Like I've had magazine subscriptions since like 6 years old.
Hell yeah! And when you was reading about ostriches and all of that other craziness as a jit.
Mm-hmm.
So now you
What
got
was
a
you
bunch
reading?
of useless animal knowledge you can pull out at a happy hour. I love that for you.
I sure can. I love pointing out the difference between oviparous animals and viviparous animals. It's one of my favorite fun facts.
Yo, the next time we go out, you gotta pull that one out. We schmoozing, you gotta pull that one out. Like, did y'all know?
Schmoozing is crazy.
And you know,
Do you wanna actually join the
the what?
her herpetology society?
No, 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 I
It's
do not. No,
listen, it doesn't have anything to do with
no, no,
herpes.
no.
It doesn't have anything to do with herpes, I promise. It has something to do with snakes.
Still no. You thought that was better?
Better than herpes. Yeah, so the Herpetology Society goes around and they like identify snakes in nature. Like they go out and be like, oh, that's a whatever, a corn snake or a milk snake. And you just go look at them. You might pick it up, take a picture, and then put it back.
Is it
And that's like the
paid?
no, you
Then
just be a
no.
part of it. Mm. Well, on
PBS
that
for
note,
fun?
yes, yes, for the love of the game,
Fuck I look like?
for the
Do
love of
I look like
snakes,
what?
for the love of snakes.
Who? Listen, that's what got
I'll send you
Adam
the
and
link.
Eve. That's what got Adam and Eve caught up. Now I don't do snake. No, I'm playing.
Listen, snakes are so incredibly misunderstood, and that's another episode for another day. Snakes are so
It's
misunderstood.
never
They're
gonna be an
basically just
episode because I'm not
we'll have a single episode of
not
Dario's
putting my name
Corner.
on that.
Dario's Corner, where we discuss snakes that I like.
In herpesology, apparently, because that's what I
Herpetology.
thought you said.
Herpetology. I'll send you a link.
Please don't. You ain't gonna you no, you gonna mess up my algorithm. I get one
You made me
herpetology
watch the
video.
Manosphere. You made me watch the Manosphere. I can put some snakes on your algorithm. I think that's a fair trade. Fair
That's
trade is no
crazy work.
robbery. Fair
We
trade
can't
is no robbery.
that is your brain.
Yes, my
'Cause then
brain.
Imma have to then we're not gonna ever be even. Imma have to get my lick back again.
Please. You can get your lick back.
Please.
On that note, I gotta go. I got a blast.
Well, guys, the doctor has to go be a doctor. I don't know nothing about that.
About doctoring?
Mm-mm.
Me neither, really.
If you haven't watched
I don't encourage you to watch it.
do,
I encourage you to watch anything else.
there's probably a world full of people that don't even know what red pill content is because they're not on
And they're
that
better
side.
for it. And they're
Yeah.
better for it. Ignorance is bliss. Knowledge is power, but ignorance is bliss.
Well, as a parent, I encourage you to watch it to see what your kids
Fair.
watching on the
Mm,
TikTok. But anywho, how we appreciate y'all tuning in. Please tell us what you think. Have you watched the documentary? What did you think about it?
mhm.
Or are you a red pillar yourself? I don't know. Tell us all
Or a
about
pink
it.
pillar. Is
Or
you
a pink
red pill
pillar.
or a pink pill? Drop the
Mm-mm.
emojis in the chat.
I feel like y'all headquarters got Blossom and a Pink Panther right on the side,
It would
on the
be
walls.
RuPaul or Destiny's Child.
Anywho, hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see y'all next week.
We
Stay
love
prayed up,
y'all.
stay blessed up.
Bye.